What's going on, guys? G-Speed here. Welcome back to another video. Now today I have something very interesting for you. I'm going to be doing a top 5 best cars for high schoolers under 5K. And now these are all going to be enthusiast cars, and they are all going to be offered with manual transmissions because that is what you should be driving if you are a new driver. Before the video starts, make sure that you guys go down, hit the like and subscribe button. It definitely helps. Definitely comment down below what you have any ideas for future videos. And without further ado, let's get right into it. Now starting us off, we're going to have the new Edge Mustang GT. Now this is going to be from 1999 to 2004. Now you're going to want to make sure that you guys get yourself the GT so that you have the 4.6 liter V8. This is going to come with 265 horsepower and 302 foot-pounds of torque, which is definitely plenty for any new driver. Now you can either get this with the 4-speed auto or the 5-speed manual, but you definitely want to get the manual in this situation as it's the far superior transmission. Now if you're concerned about miles per gallon, they're not terrible, but also not very good at a combined 19 miles per gallon. Now of course the interior quality is what you should come to expect with early 2000 Ford and GM products, as there's plastic everywhere and it is very cheap and dated, especially you see this in the infotainment and in the dash. But if you can look past the cheap interior and you're mostly focused on the driving experience, now this is really a car that you cannot go wrong with, as the new Edge is a great platform to drive around on stock or modded. Now Mustangs always have had a huge following, which may be a positive or negative coming from your point of view, but parts are very easily and accessible, especially if you do live in America. Now just make sure if you do actually end up getting yourself a Mustang, respect the power and respect the car. You see all these Mustang memes, why? It's because people don't respect the car. These cars have a lot of power, you know, and you need to be a decent driver. You don't want to be a show-off with one of these cars. Respect the car, respect the power it has. Do not become the next Mustang meme on the internet. Starting us off with the number 2 place, we're going to have the Porsche 944. The Porsche 944 was from 1982 to 1991, and it was offered with a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated or turbocharged 4-cylinder, making a respectable 143 horsepower if you do go with the NA option. Now the reason that I'm saying the NA option and not the turbo is because the turbos are nearly impossible to find, or they are impossible to find under the $5,000 mark, but the NAs are very attainable under the $5,000 mark, so those are what we're going to be talking about. Now straight line speed is not your main concern. The 944 will make an excellent performer with the nameplate to back it up. The interior compared to modern cars is dated, but the classic Porsche interiors are still a very nice place to spend time and stand the test of time very well. Many people use 944s as track cars as they feature a perfect 50-50 weight distribution due to the transmission being mounted in the rear, which is called a transaxle. These cars are also fairly easy to work on, so this would make a great first car that would allow you to dive into the mechanics of cars such as these. Now, don't expect to be winning any drag races or hole-shotting on the freeways. That is not what this car was designed to do by any means. This was a purpose-built canyon or back road performer. So if you need a comfortable, good handling car with a back seat, with a trunk, the Porsche 944 is definitely the choice for you. Now coming in at number 3, we're going to have the 4th gen Camaro. It features a 5.7 liter V8 good for 305 horsepower and 340 foot-pounds of torque. Fun fact, this is actually the same LT1 engine that was in the Corvette from 1992 to 1996, so basically you have yourself a baby Corvette. It's offered with a 4-speed auto or a 6-speed manual. Definitely get yourself the 6-speed, definitely the better option for enthusiasts. Now later on in the Camaro's life cycle, it was offered with the legendary LS1 rather than the LT1 that became in the previous years. So if you're looking for a little more performance, you should definitely try to find yourself a later model LS1, but if you can't, the LT1s do make fine cars. Now same as the interior with the Mustang, the interior of the Camaro is nothing to be raving about. But if you can look past this, you do have a really great performer at a cheap price. Now the handling on this car is not going to be good, but it is going to be pretty decent. Definitely do not use this if you're looking for more of an autocross or canyon car. The Camaro definitely shines in the straights. Now actually, the 4th gen Camaro was one of the first GM cars to ever be fully designed in a wind tunnel, so it definitely has a very unique look to the front of the car. Most people will even say it looks like a catfish, hence the name Catfish Camaro. If you enjoy raw American power, the 4th gen has a lot of this to offer, and it's an amazing performance bargain, and it gives you a lot of bang for your buck. Now coming in at number 4, we're going to have the BMW Z3. The BMW Z3 was made from 1996 to 2002. It's a small, lightweight, contemporary sports car. Now, there were 4 engine options for the Z3, and they were a 1.9 liter 4-cylinder, making 138 horsepower and 133 foot-pounds of torque, a 2.3 liter inline 6, making 170 horsepower and 181 foot-pounds of torque, a 2.8 liter, making 193 horsepower and 206 foot-pounds of torque, and a 3 liter, making 225 horsepower and 214 foot-pounds of torque. Now the best engine to get is the 3 liter. It makes the most power, but it's the hardest to find under 5K, so the other engine options will do you just fine. The interior is definitely the best out of all the cars that we've looked at so far. It does feature nice BMW leather seats and a dated but very nice dash and infotainment. If you're looking for a nice 2-seater roadster with a manual transmission and the nice sound of a lovely BMW inline 6, the Z3 is definitely the best option for you. Well, we all knew it was going to come to this. Coming in at the number 5 spot, ending this list off, it is going to be the NA Miata. Now, we all know what Miata stands for. Miata is always the answer, right? We all know Miata is always the answer. So if you're looking for a cheap way to get yourself into the car scene, whether you like drifting, autocross, or you're more of a stance person, the Miata will definitely fit your needs. Now, it was available with a 1.6 liter or a 1.8 liter inline 4, making either 113 horsepower or 129 horsepower, but the Miata is not a fast car by any means. But if you enjoy driving a car to its limits and using everything that it has to offer, there's no better option than the Miata. The handling is sharp and precise while still having some body roll, which adds to the experience. It's offered with either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed auto, but the manual is the only transmission that can do justice for a Miata. Due to it being the best-selling sports car in the world, parts are cheap and easy to find, so modding potential is almost limitless. You can build this car to fit you and how you like to drive. With a nice set of coilovers, a nice set of new tires, the Miata is probably the best handling car for $5 without a doubt. Also, NA Miatas are featured in roadster form, which makes them fun even during normal driving. Now I hope with these 5 cars you can find something that fits you and fits your needs. I know that high schoolers, we all have a tight budget here. $5 is not a lot to work with, but I want to let you guys know you don't have to drive Toyota Corolla or something along those lines. You can actually get a really fun car for $5. So I hope that one of these will fit your needs. Thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you guys go down, like and subscribe, comment what you want to see in the next video as, and have a good day.